Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking the video. If you're here, please do like and subscribe. On this channel, I look at all things tarot and spirituality. We look at what's going on in the world right now and current affairs. If you're watching this video, today we're going to look at Kim Kardashian. Recently, Kim said that she had been chatting with various tarot readers and psychics to see whether or not she would pass the bar exam, and she has yet to. So let's delve into what's going on with her and the bar and whether she's going to pass, but also what might be blocking her. Let's start with a few cards from this deck. So it's really interesting already. We've got the cards time and fatigue coming out. I would imagine this is someone who is incredibly busy, who maybe doesn't have the capacity to give this her full attention compared with other students who are sitting the same exam. What I will say is kind of intuitively around this, it does feel like Kim's very eager to do this, and it is sort of linked in with me to family, to accomplishment, to achieving something that is out of her current domain of influence. The Kardashians have an egregore around them, and that might be something that they've consciously created. It might be something that the public have created for them. And if you don't know what an egregore is, it's almost like a thought form that is created around something. It's very much influenced by beliefs or mass beliefs in something. So essentially, in the case of the Kardashians, it is almost as though they have been known for kind of this branding of reality TV, maybe some business in there, but in the beginning they were almost known for not sort of being famous in the traditional sense. Instead, they became famous off of sort of building a brand where they didn't essentially have really specific skills around music or around acting or these things that we typically associate with fame. Instead, the public know them for like kind of being pretty and celebrity without much concrete substance. I'm just saying that that's what the public have viewed them as in the beginning, and I don't know if that's sometimes you can sort of create a egregore yourself in a kind of conscious spiritual way, or sometimes it's just a mass belief and that sort of gains momentum and gains substance, and then that is associated with a particular thing or place. So essentially it feels as though the Kardashians have been known for being famous for nothing, essentially. And Kim wants to kind of go against the grain with this. So she would like to now establish herself in an industry that she's never been known for, and almost like this energy that is pre-existing around the family is disruptive to that, because the public's belief system doesn't necessarily support the idea of her having success in another industry, but almost this belief system influences her and her own family subconsciously. So people aren't linking with the idea of her as a lawyer, as someone who's successful in a more academic or kind of mainstream way. This is intuitively, this is kind of playing against her at this point in time. So let's delve into this a bit more and see what the cards are showing up around her taking this bar exam. So again, it's just what I picked up intuitively is a huge factor in this. We are seeing 3 cards linked in with family is influential around this. I do feel, I think the father was a lawyer, and we're seeing here 6 of Cups, which is like your past, with all of these other cards around family. Queen of Cups is a woman around her who feels like a Scorpio who might also be influencing the outcome here. I think she would like to prove herself as a lawyer to link in with past, what the family has revered in the past before they were even well known. And then kind of the current family sort of influences some of the actions that she takes. I think we probably do see that when we see her in the media, they're quite close. But the family almost need to believe more in her achieving this. She's trying to prove it to them, but she also needs their support in order to be able to pull this off. So will she be able to do this? How can she make this happen for herself? Say, will she be able to pass it? I do think that she will pass it. That doesn't mean it's today. It doesn't mean it's tomorrow. It doesn't mean that's a year from now, but eventually she is coming out as the victor in this. I think if anything, she needs to focus on how to create more time for her to prioritize this, and how to kind of overcome some limiting beliefs, whether they're hers or whether they are people around you. So if you've got people around you that don't believe in you, this influences you on an unconscious level. Being single is a benefit to her right now. I don't know if she is single, but we could see here someone in the 9 of Pentacles. I do think men can be distractive for her when she's trying to achieve certain goals. Yeah, again, confirmation hermit mode. She has to really come into herself, and less socializing, a kind of deprioritization of some of her other business interests. If she can relinquish some of her family responsibility, that would be a benefit to this as well. She essentially needs to lock herself in a room with some books and take it seriously. I think there is a bit of a gap in how she's gone about the process of getting to this point, and it's important to kind of remember that there are stages to achieving anything academically. My understanding is that she did not go to university for this, but that she had more hands-on time in the law sphere in order to be able to kind of matriculate to this point of being able to do it, right? And that's fine. However, there's probably context that she's missing from having the experience of going through college to get to this point. Just, yeah, it just feels as though there is some context missing by not doing that. Because it's not just about the practical of the exams, it is also about her knowing what and how she should be presenting her arguments when she's undertaking this exam, how she needs to frame things. Right now, there's like a lot of travel. There's a lot going on that is a distraction from this study. She's got to get defensive. She's got to lock in here. So best advice on how she make this happen. Okay, there are people here who she could really use to her benefit. So if she actually mentally commits to doing this and gives it her full time and attention, she's not in this space of limited time, fatigue, burnout. She can lock in and have like the best of the best supporting her here. I do see benefits from going a more traditional route in this, whether that is actually her going through college, or spending some time, spending, you know, some semesters around an actual, I don't know how it works to get to this point of being able to take the exam, but I do see her benefiting from actually exposing herself more to academic environments, exposing herself to professors, to really high up legal people. Use these people have the best tutors. She's coming through as the empress, so that's kind of like her maternal side. I would pull back on all the business ventures. Have your family there, yes, like your children, but make this like your focus, undivided attention here. Less time on social media also. I just feel like there's like a distractive energy here. I do think that this could be incredibly rewarding for her to do, because right now it's sort of like all of this attempts to make it happen and it not happening feels a bit of a burden, but she's overburdened anyway. Juggling too many things here, and it's almost like she's juggling so much it's confusing. She is studying, not maybe as much as she needs to, but as she's studying, it's almost like she is so busy she doesn't have the space to synthesize what she's learning. So she's like learning things, it's not sticking in her head because you're kind of rushing on to the next thing, and you're talking about strategy for this, and you're having a meeting regarding this brand, and you're looking after your children, and you're doing this and this and this, and you're attending family things, you're attending friend things, and you're social. And it is overwhelming because when you're studying, you need to create the space for that just to be processed by you. And when you're go, 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 she doesn't have the bandwidth to be able to absorb all of her learning. You can see friends here. I mean, it does feel like it will come together for her. She would benefit from creating friendships with people in this industry, right? So other people, community that are also undergoing this exam. I would say it's maybe not as easy for her to do this as it would be for someone who's not in the public eye. But if she could build community with other people who are going through the process, I think that would feel quite supportive for her, and that she would work quite well in that environment. So it is worth her having a think about, because if she wasn't well known, I think that this would have been the approach that she would have taken if she just gone to law school normally. She would have made friendships, a community, and that would have like helped her through the process, because you got a second opinion, you've got someone else that you can go to talk about what you're working on right now or what aspects of it that you don't understand. And so there's maybe a little bit of a block between her and building community right now. Yeah, there are people that she can talk to about this. She's just not seeing it right now. And maybe it is because she's in the public eye, it feels like unequal sometimes when she's meeting other people that are on this path. She's so successful in other areas that maybe it's just not the most natural to come and connect with you and chat with you about the work itself. But there are benefits for her in being able to do that. We keep coming up with the base of the deck, the Three of Cups of friendship here. I do say she needs to be strategic in how she works. So in how she's studying, who she's associating with, who she's getting advice with, community around her, so she doesn't feel alone in undertaking this, but also she does have access to some really powerful and knowledgeable people here, and she might not fully be utilizing it. whatever she's been doing to this point, the approach that she's been taking so far has not worked for her, and she needs to put an end to it. And I think this can only happen. So the success, her achieving this, can only happen if she puts an end to the ways and methods that she has been studying for this so far. Let's be open to more potential. If she's got mentors and they're not working for her, she needs to go seek out new mentors. She needs to lock in on the idea of herself as an apprentice in this area and then behave as anyone else would going through the process. Split the deck, and then we've got victory at the end. So let the ego go. And I mean, maybe this is why she is getting yeses and then she's not actually able to pass, because fundamentally her approach needs to change. That's the blockage. I think if she continues in the way that she has been, yes, she might not pass, but if she embraces, yeah, pulling from this deck, and it's talking about restart. Change the strategy. And there you have it. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and pop an idea of anything else that you'd like to see down the bottom.